Hi guys, today's video is going to be talking about discipline and persisting and how exactly to build up that discipline and be able to persist in your manifestation perfectly and just go throughout your manifestation experience with more discipline and structure and actually being able to stick to that. So I'm going to get into all of this today, give you guys my advice and how I personally would structure my routine, things that have worked for me, speaking from my own experience as a coach, but also someone who manifests regularly. So do stay tuned to hear my thoughts and advice. I think this is going to be a useful video, also specifically based on what my LOA coaching darling members have said. I do polls every now and again for members, and something that you guys said was that discipline and consistency and kind of persisting throughout the journey is a bit tough at times. So that is why I'm doing today's video. Speaking of which, you can work with me. You can become a member for just $2.99 a month and everything will be popped on screen so you can take a look at all my offers, the coaching services you can get, and as usual, everything will be linked in the description box as well. So now let's start the video. I'm sure you guys know, and have heard me say this in other videos, discipline and consistency are key. You cannot go through your manifesting journey. You cannot successfully manifest going from point A to point B, doing a 180, going from not having something to having something without some form of discipline and consistency. Even if it just takes you 72 hours, that's amazing, but that's 72 hours where you have to be affirming, thinking from the end result, and that in itself is discipline. It doesn't mean 7 hours a day sat robotically affirming. It just means being disciplined enough to put in the required work. So those two elements are key to manifesting what you want. Discipline really means taking the time to have a consistent daily routine of conscious manifesting. So let me say that again. Taking the time to have a consistent daily routine of conscious manifesting. So putting in that conscious effort, because obviously subconsciously or unconsciously, you will be manifesting a lot of things, but sitting down, walking around, multitasking, applying a mental diet, consistently putting in the conscious effort. So you're engaging the conscious mind, the logical mind. You're saying, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. No, that's not true. I have this, a visual, meditation, revising, whatever it may be. You're doing all these different elements and you're creating the desired outcome that you want, convincing your mind of it. But it takes the conscious effort. It's very, of course you can use subliminals and, overnight affirmation tapes, looking at vision boards, things like this. But if you're coming from a difficult place, a really negative place, it's unlikely to work really efficiently and effectively if, just using those methods and then not putting any conscious effort in. In my opinion, it would either take a really long time or it'd be extremely up and down and you probably wouldn't get the full end result you want. So engaging the conscious mind is really, really important. So you want to be consistent with a daily routine of putting in that effort, looping your affirmations, whatever other methods it may be. So the first thing you can do now in terms of my practical advice is to write out a list of everything that you believe it takes to manifest. All the different methods, what you think you need to be doing and should be doing every day. I'm not telling you guys here, but things like affirmations, mental diet, visualizing, everything that I listed, everything to do with manifesting of your knowledge so far, write it out. I would preferably recommend by hand. Sometimes it's nice just to go old school with a notebook and pen, or like in your little diary journal. It just feels more personal. But if you want to just do it on your phone quickly now, you can do that too. Write out everything you believe it takes to manifest. What are the methods? What do you think you need to be doing? So I would presume you don't have to write out 100 different things, but I presume you wrote out the things that come to mind, the most important things, the things that you believe you personally should be doing and want to be doing. So pick out your preferred routine and your preferred methods and look at what you've written out and say, yeah, I should be doing all these things. I should be trying to incorporate, at least most of these things every single day. So pick out those specific things, write out your specific routine and try to start following that from the next morning, from tomorrow morning. When I say build up your routine, you don't have to use this as your entire schedule. I just mean incorporate that routine into your day, basically every single day. So let's say you picked affirming and scripting every single day, and you know those are the two things that work for you, that you enjoy, that you're like, yep, I really need to get back on track with these. This is what I know works well for me and I really enjoy this. So then what you would do is you would build it, incorporating it into your daily routine. So scripting and affirming, maybe in the morning, then on your lunch break, then in the afternoon for 10 more minutes, and then again before you go to bed, you know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Building it into your free time during the day. Every day is different, and I will go a little bit more into this in a moment, but yeah, every single day can be different. And I'm not saying you have to be like 9 a.m. is always this, 12 p.m. is always this. It's not like that, but you want to build it into your daily routine, get some more structure. It's all about creating a routine and structure and applying the knowledge that you have and creating it in visual form. So you literally see in front of you, this is what I need to be doing every day. Today, I need to make time for this, make time for that. That's why I'm trying to encourage you guys to have as much like mental and visual structure as you can, because that's going to help you stay disciplined, because you know what you need to be doing, you know what you should be doing, and you know what your idea for the day really is. It's not that you're going about your day, you know, willy-nilly kind of doing whatever you want. You know what it should include. I would also say don't look to external negative sources. So anything negative, anything that makes you feel bad, makes you think about the old story, discourages you, even if it's conversations and topics with friends, or maybe it's specific people in your life who are super negative, don't have a healthy mindset, maybe just pull back a little bit, or don't engage, you know, in deep conversations, or, you know, whatever it may be. Try and pull away a little bit or minimize completely anything that's really negative, anything that's, you know, discouraging to you, negative, puts you down, makes you question things. Usually this is the case with like social media, certain films, certain shows, certain music, anything that, you know, just is really negative, doesn't make you feel good, doesn't help you. You know, with people, I'm not telling you cut out relationships, that would be like toxic advice. I'm not here to tell you how to go about your life, but if you find that bringing up the topic of dating or money, for example, with a family member or a friend, always ends up in a negative cycle and ends up in a negative conversation, then try to minimize that. Don't bring up that topic. Maybe, you know, slightly minimize your contact with that person, but, you know, just like, oh, this week I really want to persist, I'm not going to initiate these conversations. That's all I'm saying. So basically, don't look to those external negative sources. Recognize what triggers you, and if you are feeling triggered, then ask yourself why. You know, what is making me feel triggered? It could be, oh yeah, I watched, you know, The Notebook yesterday. I watched Dear John the other day. That's such a sad film. I feel like I cried when I read the book. So, you know, all these like really sad romance films or films without a happy ending, like these kind of things. If it triggers you, you'll be like, okay, that's it. I'm just not going to engage with it. Instead, I'm going to do 30 minutes of affirming, and then I'll go watch a comedy. You know what I mean? So it's about having that structure and knowing what triggers you, recognizing the source of that, and not engaging with it. That's how you stay disciplined. So a couple questions I've written down here for you to also ask yourself is, are you spending too much time on social media? You can ask yourself that. Are you spending too much time watching TV? You know, all these things of not so much feeling triggered now, but rather in terms of persisting and discipline. Are you spending your time and wasting your, you know, weekends or evenings? Are you wasting your time just sitting around doing nothing that helps you towards your manifestation? If all your free time is given to other tasks that don't really benefit you, don't bring about something positive, they're not to do with your career, it's not an important social event, you know, it's time that you really could have spent affirming this week to get even closer to your manifestation, and possibly even have had your manifestation by the end of the week. So ask yourself these questions. Are you spending too much time on these kind of things that aren't bringing you anything positive and that could have been spent on your manifestation? Next point is to test out a set affirming time. Test out, you know, 45 minutes a day, an hour a day, 2 hours a day, whatever you want, whatever works for you. If you have a really busy day, then obviously, you know, like I said, 45 minutes, everyone can factor that into their day, because as you're getting ready, as you're commuting, as you're cooking dinner, as you're walking your dog, you know, whatever, you have that time. You're able to multitask. You don't have to be engaging in anything else mentally. So there will be times throughout your day, even just 45 minutes, but test out a set affirming time. Try it for just the first day. So start going into it with just one day. Like tomorrow morning, I'm going to start with all these things Alexa's just said. You know, tomorrow morning I'll start with this set affirming time and I'll test out the one day. Today I'll test out this one day if you're watching in the morning, whatever it may be. So try out and say, okay, I'm going to put this X amount of time into affirming and I'll do it for the whole day. And then you build on it day by day and you say, okay, I'll do it again tomorrow. And then I'll do it again tomorrow. But pick a set affirming time and try and follow that every single day. So just try one full day of this specific schedule, building it into obviously your daily routine anyway, and see how it goes. And I think building on from that, just taking it day by day, it's a really easy way. You do need willpower and to be kind of, strong-willed, have good willpower, good self-discipline, but that's how you build into that overall general discipline of, weeks and months of being disciplined enough to persist. And obviously it is okay to make adjustments day by day. You can, make the adjustment of having a really busy day and then prioritizing a mental diet. That obviously works as well. Persisting essentially means to not give up on thinking positively every single day. It just means to think from the new version every day to the best of your ability. And no matter what comes up, you just don't give up. So hopefully all of these tips helped you guys, gave you some inspiration. I think this is probably one of my best videos because it gives you a really structured step-by-step guide on how to literally build up the skill of discipline. I've worked on this over the years. I've always been a pretty structured person anyway, so for me discipline is not too difficult, but yeah, I've spent years building up and learning what discipline looks like for me with manifesting, and I have a really good, quite strict routine. But I hope you guys take on board everything I've said and found some useful tips there. And yeah, I would love to hear your feedback, and I'll see you next time. Bye.